It is now February the 2nd, Wednesday. Meteorologist Matthew East along with you. Going to give you a quick weather update video this morning and show you the things I'm watching with today's forecast package. And remember, you can check out all the latest on Spectrum News 1 on television. I have all of your Charlotte and Western North Carolina weather details throughout the day. And that Spectrum News app is always there for you, too. A lot of great content, including the ability to stream any of our stations across the country. All right. Let me show you what it looks like right now as I cut the video. This is during the 6 a.m. hour this morning, looking from our Skycam at Charlotte Douglas back toward uptown Charlotte. It's a quiet morning, pretty chilly morning too. Our temperature at 30 degrees in Charlotte, again during the 6 a.m. hour. That's a look up in Boone. That's the camera shot that looks in the direction of the campus of App State and the Convocation Center. Temperature in Boone at 22. In fact, we've had many spots even down into the Piedmont, well down into the 20s this morning. Yesterday, we made it up to 54 in Charlotte, 44 in Boone, 51 in Asheville, Columbia, South Carolina, 59, and 54 in Fayetteville. This morning, there are your current temperature readings. Again, this is during the 6 a.m. hour. It's a pretty cold morning. You'll want the jackets or the coats this morning. Temperatures in the Piedmont at or below freezing in most spots, and then up in the mountains, a lot of folks well down into the 20s, and that's the case even, again, in the Piedmont as well. All right, here's the weather set up for today. We've got an Arctic cold front really sprawled out from parts of the Great Lakes all the way down into Texas. That is a very slow-moving Arctic front, and as the Arctic air spreads out, it gets thinner and thinner with time. So that begins to undercut all this precipitation that's ongoing, causing a nasty zone of freezing rain, sleet before it kicks over to all snow further to the north. Look at these temperatures. These are actual air temperatures. 8 in Des Moines, Iowa. Much of Montana, the Dakotas, Minnesota, northern parts of Wisconsin, and the UP of Michigan with sub-zero temperatures this morning. Further to the south, it's 50s and 60s in the lower Mississippi Valley and parts of the Tennessee Valley. And we will keep our little warming trend going here in the Carolinas over the next couple of days before the Arctic air returns this weekend. So that's the big picture across the lower 48. Look at the snow flying in Kansas, Missouri, parts of Illinois, Indiana, and the upper Midwest. Around the Carolinas, it's quiet, just some clouds beginning to increase. We'll see those clouds thickening up with time today. Again, there's more of that snow there in parts of the Great Lakes region. And this is now the European model, showing that extensive zone of snow and ice. That's 3 p.m. today. We fast forward to 9 a.m. tomorrow, and you have ice and snow deep down into Texas. The pink shading, that's that wintry mix of freezing rain and sleet. Of course, the white and blue colors are all snow. There's 4 p.m. tomorrow. There's 4 p.m. Friday. So this is a very long duration deal. Check out the snow accumulation potential here from the European model. Big snows all the way from the Red River Valley all the way up into the northeastern part of the country. And then just south of the pure snow zone, you get into that zone of freezing rain and sleet. And this could be a really nasty ice storm in the eastern parts of the Red River Valley, central Arkansas, including Little Rock, maybe over toward the Memphis zone too. We're talking maybe in some of those areas 3/4 of an inch of ice or more. Really nasty stuff, and that could be all the way up into northern Kentucky and including the Louisville area, southern Ohio, maybe a little south of Cincinnati, but close, and then on up into parts of Pennsylvania. The amounts taper off as you get further to the northeast. All right, so I'm going to show you now some of the more detailed modeling and talk about our potential little weekend system here in the Carolinas too. All right, so let's start with the European model. I'm going to take you through our rain event and then talk about the system over the weekend. So this is the 0Z run of the European model. This is valid, let's go to right here. That's 7 p.m. this evening. Clouds will increase through the day. There'll be the opportunity for some showers working through the mountain zones as we go through the afternoon. And then as we get into this evening and tonight, you see that shower potential, rain shower potential, making it further into the Piedmont. Now that's daybreak Thursday. We go through the day Thursday. There's 7 p.m. And so you get the idea there. We'll have off and on rain in the mountains. Some showers at times in the Piedmont, especially roughly that I-85 corridor in points north and west. And then as we get into later tomorrow night, later Thursday night and Friday morning, the front actually finally buckles in. That's when we get a more consistent period of rain that'll work through the region during that Thursday night and Friday time period, and then the system is gone by roughly daybreak Saturday, if not then by soon thereafter. So we look at rain totals. Again, this is from the European computer model. Could be some 2-inch plus totals in parts of the mountains. Maybe some bullseyes of even more than that. I think the Charlotte, the Triad area, probably a half to an inch and a quarter of rain thereabouts, and then the amounts generally will decrease the further to the east, although there'll be some localized exceptions. And by the way, as far as any severe weather concerns are looking, and let me show you what it looks like here. I'll pull up the instability here if I can get that to plot for me. Well, it looks like I'm not going to be able to get that to work. But either way, the bottom line is there's very little unstable air. So oh, here we go. There we go. Got it now. The amount of CAPE, the available unstable air to fuel any thunderstorm potential. Let me go back here to Friday morning and then step you through the day. Very marginal, if any at all, in terms unstable air CAPE values. Just not a big setup for severe weather. Can't rule out a few rumbles of thunder over the eastern half of the Carolinas later Friday, but I just don't think a big severe weather outbreak is in the making. Now, let's talk about the weekend system. This is the upper level chart on the European model. This is valid Saturday morning, daybreak. There's a closed upper air feature back in the lower Mississippi Valley, but watch what happens as we get deeper into the day. That's Saturday evening. And then that is Sunday morning. It kind of opens up and weakens a bit. It doesn't stay as a closed upper air low. If you want to see a big precipitation-laden system, you would want to see that closed upper air feature, that closed upper air low, hold itself together, maybe take on that more neutral or negative tilt. But as it stands now, the system's kind of dampening out as it moves in. So on the very latest run of the European, as I cut the video, have not seen the 6Z stuff just yet. It's a little early for that. But here was the 0Z run, and I'll go out to Saturday night and Sunday morning. That's the European presentation, bringing a little bit of wintry precip up into the Sandhills and eastern North Carolina, but not much. Although it did trend a little northwest compared to its previous run, just as a for instance. That's the 0Z run of the European. This was the previous 18Z run. So it has trended a little bit northwest, but a lot of the modeling is going in this type of direction. This is the very latest run of the GFS, the American model, 6Z run. Still bringing a wave of wintry precip to a lot of the region, but the trend has been for it to get less widespread, less north and west. So we'll take that Sunday morning time frame. That's the latest run of the GFS. That was the run before it. That was the run before that. And I'll kind of back that up in time. So just look, this was the 18Z run yesterday, the afternoon run. Click, 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 click. You can see a pretty significant winter storm. Compare that to the most recent run, and it's certainly more suppressed off to the southeast. And you look at the ensemble data, less and less ensemble support for a significant winter storm. Could it trend the other direction? Sure. But what I've done with my forecast package for today, and by the way, the Canadian is basically bone dry. If you want to see that, nothing really. It makes it up into the cold air precipitation-wise. Now, what I've done with my forecast package today is I have gone ahead and left in some opportunity for a wintry mix in the Piedmont, snow in the mountains and the foothills Saturday night into Sunday morning. I've kept those probabilities kind of in the moderate range, 40-50%. But if I had to guess one way or another right now, I would think we trend more toward the suppressed solution with less precipitation as opposed to the other way around. That's just my hunch as it stands right now. Of course, again, that could change as we get better data ingested into the modeling. We might see this come back the other direction, but my hunch is this trends in a more suppressed direction, but we shall see. All right, that is it for the latest edition of the video. Everybody, have a wonderful Wednesday, and God bless.